anyway.
Yeah, we just gonna go ahead and start the show.
Baseline.
Hey. Yeah. 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 It's the Porch Podcast, come on. It's the Porch Podcast, come on. What you say?
Let's go,
Porch
E.
Podcast, come on. Porch Podcast. Porch Podcast, they say P slacking. Porch Podcast, the E still backing. Still cracking, still the poppin' shit. Influential is the illest and stop with the ish. We got a lot to talk about today. People get smacked in the face every way. Hey, maybe you're on stage, maybe you're on the you messed me up with that. Gotta stop. I gotta rap. I don't really want to. Let's get it back. Let's start the episode. Porch Podcast. So you know we in the mood. You know why? It's the Porch Podcast. Come on. Hey, it is the Porch Podcast. It is the Porch Podcast. Come on. It is the Porch Podcast. Let's go. Yeah, man, my flow was off right there, P. My flow was off right there. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy DJ E, Mr. Influential, and I'm rocking with my brother.
P Original, baby.
Go ahead and talk to him, P. Talk to him.
Hey, man. Well, hey, I think we got to address it. I think we're going to have to deal with it, man. Episode 66, man.
Episode 6.
Award, man. Award. Hey, man. Let's do this, right? First, before we dive into that, E, how's your week been so far, brother? Before we get into the rest of this, how's your week been so far?
It's been cool. I ain't complaining about much. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I had to get a new phone today. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shit was a little crazy. You know, but couldn't hear no more, man. I had to get rid of that 8 plus. That 8 plus.
Hence the reason why you would definitely need a phone if you can't hear anymore. Like there's like, you know, sometimes you replace certain things for certain reasons. Like that's a definite reason to replace your phone. You couldn't hear anymore.
Yeah, I couldn't really hear no more. I really couldn't hear no more.
Yeah. So we're gonna get right into it, man. You know, Sundays, man. Sundays are supposed to be a day for the Lord and for you to relax and, you know, reflect on life and kick back and kind of like psychologically prepare yourself for your week. You know, whether it's work week, whatever you got to do.
Right.
And I don't think everybody got the memo, E.
Who you don't think got the memo?
I think there's a couple people that were well dressed, like if they were going to church.
Right.
But I don't think they got the memo.
You don't think so?
No. Now, I'm going to say this, right?
Right.
Because obviously we're going to address the elephant in the room.
Okay, go ahead and address it.
Let's say the elephant, whatever you want to say. I do not wish to condemn, but nor can I condone certain things that transpired at said award show on Sunday night.
Yes, go.
I've had multiple conversations with people.
Right.
Whether it's by choice or not, seems to come up in most of the conversations.
That's what's happening.
That's what's happening. And I have to admit, right, like, I had a mixed bag of emotions or feelings about the situation.
Okay.
Because, like, I can't think of the comedian's name, but like him, I share a lot of the same roles of both parties.
Right.
And, you know, it's easy, man, to pass judgment, right? That's the easiest thing in the world. Because when you're a spectator, you know, I don't care if you watch an award show or something goes, you know, a little left. If you're watching a sports event, if you're watching, you know, anything, I wouldn't have done that, man. I would have done this. That is by far the easiest thing to do.
Right.
The easiest thing to do.
Right.
What's more difficult is to put yourself into the position, you know, by, you know, being unbiased, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. I know how I feel about it, right? I know how I feel about it. I want to get your take, E. We're gonna go right there and take it there.
We'll take it there. We're gonna take it there.
What do you think about the level? What was the level? What reading were you getting off the level that day? Because
Well,
it
the
may
level
explain a lot of this.
level's been high. Anybody's living over here on the East Coast, you notice how we've had this bipolar weather. You know what I mean? I don't know if y'all noticed it, but on Monday, I think it was yesterday, we had a little what they call this. You did your phone go off?
Squall, a squall,
A
a
snow
squall.
squall. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a powder word. Squall. I mean, listen. Let's clap it up for that. That's a powder word. Snow squall. Snow squall.
Yeah, that's what they called it. That's what they called it. Yeah.
How many times you see on the Weather Channel when it comes on? Today we might have some squalls. They say it's, might see some flurries,
Right.
but a
Yeah, I gotta
squall.
look it up, man. I gotta look up the difference between that. Go ahead, bro. Look. As soon as I put snow in, the first word that comes up next to it is a squall. Like,
Yeah, they
what's the
made that shit up
definition of it?
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday they made that up. You know what I mean?
It's just basically
So that alone lets
crazy.
you know that the powder level was high because we had to have squalls to release some of the pressure. And be honest with you, it started from the Awk-Award, the award show on Sunday.
right.
You didn't know
Right.
anything about a snow squall. Think about it. You didn't know anything about a snow squall till Monday.
Right.
It never came up in the weather report before that.
No.
Monday. It
Right.
was Monday. That my shit came across my phone.
Right.
Snow
Right.
squalls, and I thought that was the Adam that little Adam alarm, like the kids, somebody got kidnapped or something.
Amber alert.
Amber alert. That's what it is. Amber alert.
Who is the atom alarm?
Well, when I used to work at a certain certain store back in the day, they used to call it Cold Blue. It was an Adam. That was the Adam alert, not Amber alert. They would say Adam. That means it was a missing child. They wanted to switch it up to try to throw off the kidnappers back in the day. I'm not gonna say what
Love
store
it,
it
man.
is.
I
You know
still
what I mean?
think that this is the effects of the squall. You were out
Yeah,
there in it, weren't you?
squall. That's yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I was. I was out there. I was out there. A little bit. But my point is, you didn't know nothing about it till you woke up Monday morning. They were saying, yeah, 30% chance of snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened was
Uh-oh.
when you had two stars of that magnitude, get
Right.
into a squabble. Squabble, squall. See the relation, right? You see the
Right.
relation.
Right.
Squabble,
Right.
squall. Only a snow squall could help that squabble.
Oh.
So
Is
the
that what it
release, the powder gods, man, the powder gods had to allow that to leave, to release the pressure. You know what I mean? If you notice, the squalls happen.
Right.
Shortly after, we start to see the apologies from both sides. Because of the snow squalls.
I didn't know. Oh, so Chris Rock had one? We gotta go ahead and say it now. So CR had one?
Yeah, but man, they know we talking about Will Smith and Chris Rock. I'm not about to sit here. Listen, man, listen. The world knows. Yeah, he had an apology. You ain't see his?
No.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. But the snow squall. You don't think the snow squalls had anything with curing the?
I mean, let me tell you something. The more that you explain it, I'm inclined to say yes. I'm gonna say this because first off, just to give credence to what you just said, I don't recall a snow squall before. I don't.
Right.
And I just think that a lot of it was built up pressure, like you said, over what transpired the night before. I think they needed a diversion.
Right.
And I think that that's what happened. You know what I mean? Now, once again, I think there's something that transpired that night that unfortunately is going to take away from the intended purpose of what the night was supposed to be about. And it's unfortunate because I know you done seen it. There's an investigation into whether or not, to have, Will Smith forfeit that Oscar or turn it back in or whatever you want to say.
Right.
Um, it's been so many mixed reviews, right, bro? Like all jokes aside, like we talk, like I even had conversation in my household, obviously with my wife, and some people, man, were comfortable with, yo, I'll give him a pass, and all this, that, and the third. See, the funny thing about me with the whole situation, when you start saying what you're giving a person a pass for, you don't. To me, I realize that when a person says somebody's giving them a pass, that means that you acknowledge that there was some wrong there,
Yeah.
but you're giving it a pass. And I'm not saying that people who quote unquote, gave a pass are pro Will, anti Chris, or whatever the case may be like that. But I will say that what took place that night, I feel like some of the things like I heard people say, and I'm probably a little bit inclined to kind of see where I would probably fall more in alignment with that is that they understand the response, but the place where it transpired was not it. It shouldn't have happened there. And then you have some people who are more like, yo, it's on site. It was supposed to happen then. Anything outside of that would be more of a premeditated situation. And if you had the kind of time to think about, I'll deal with that situation later, even if it's the same way, then you probably had time to think about the repercussions of it and keep from doing it.
Right.
The twist to it and the sad part about it is now that happened, now you'll start hearing about things that took place supposedly with Ethan Hawke. Um, that's what happens. Like once one bad thing happens, like this about the snow squall and how quickly things can come in the scene or blow through real quick. Don't get excited, E.
Blow
I
through
said blow
what?
through.
Blow through. Blow
You know
through.
what I mean? The snow squall. Now all of a sudden, Will's going to be viewed as the award show sneak artist.
Right.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And all of these celebrations and these applauses for what he did in terms of that situation like that, like, you know, you can have your own opinion. I don't think it was handled right. I don't think it was handled right. I know people say it was in poor taste what Chris Rock did and what he said or whatever. I'm not making excuses for him because I don't live in his mind nor Will's mind or anybody else's. But sometimes when you look at I look at the magnitude of everything that transpired afterwards, and I have to say to myself, I don't think that at this point the punishment, you know, fit that situation. I just don't feel like that was the way to go about that. And the fact that you can take the time and you can apologize to the Oscars and the people there, and you pretty much omit or exclude. I mean, Chris Rock's name from being a part of it. It doesn't sit well. So I don't
I
know,
understand.
man.
I understand clearly what you're saying. I was sitting here. I'm gonna bring up his apology in a second, but to actually, to hear what you're saying and to go more into in debt, you know, if he wanted to pop off, he wanted to pop off. I just think it's a time and a place for everything. I don't think it should have actually happened on stage. That's what made many people believe, it was at first it wasn't real. It was a publicity stunt.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
Because they're looking at it as, oh nah, they ain't just do that. And I guess it was more so too because of the fact how he didn't actually respond, like, jump to do anything, Chris Rock, because he showed restraint, and he understand that it wasn't the time to keep going. You know what I mean? I think he thought about his check. You got a lot of motherfuckers. I ought to beat the brakes off him, and I believe it. I believe it. But you got some people that would have did exactly what Chris Rock did. You know, um, I don't think Will was wrong, but I do think he went. It's too far at the moment. You know, what I would have did. Everybody in the world gonna sit there and talk like they gangster, like, bitch, I'd have did the same thing. Walked right up on him, smacked the shit out of him. Yeah, okay, all right, yeah. You might have. It's
Yeah.
easy to say what the fuck you would have did when you didn't do it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's easy to
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
But I think if it was really something that needed to be addressed, I'd be like, hold up, babe, I'll be right back. I'm going backstage. I'm going backstage. I'm like, hey, bro, listen. I don't know what you on, what type of shit you on, but that ain't it. You know what I mean? That ain't it.
Yeah.
I might have grabbed the bitch a little bit, like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you ain't, but I need you to apologize, man. Like when you go right the fuck back out, I need you to apologize. You know what I
Yeah. I
mean?
need you to address that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then that's it. And then nobody would have ever known, because he Will laughed at first. It's like you
Bruh.
like you said, he laughed at first. He laughed, and then when he seen that Jada didn't like it, it was almost like sicking. You know what I mean? But I get his frustration. It's like, yo, my wife ain't like that joke. I gotta address this. You know what I mean? But hey, we know what happened. You know, shit look real movie starish, like the smack. You know what I mean? It didn't even it really looked like a movie smack,
Yeah,
not a real
bruh.
smack. You know what I mean?
I told you what I was talking to somebody earlier, and I said that he spun off on some Mike Lowry type stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a Mike Lowry type stuff. That's funny as
Yeah,
hell.
he did. Like to me, like it was, bruh. You saw it. Everybody done watched it a bunch of times. It was like I smack him, I spin off, and then I go sit down in the seat. Like there was no concern about any kind of repercussions coming from that. I ain't even
Right.
so much even just talking about him. I ain't just talking about Chris Rock. I'm just saying, like nobody from the side, they didn't go to a commercial. What transpired in that situation was not common. That was not something that regularly takes place. So when you see something like that, and you start saying to yourself, that's why I made the video that I made when I was saying like nobody came.
Right.
Nobody came. Now everybody hears about the behind the scenes stuff where he went in the back and different people said different things like when that thing that and I think it makes sense in terms of the point, but I also believe to a certain degree that it paints a ugly picture on Chris Rock when Denzel has said to him being Will Smith, that it's at your greatest times when the devil comes for you.
Right.
Now, if you don't, like if you have a problem with interpreting what he's saying in that situation, one may turn around and say, okay, well, are you saying that at that particular moment, Chris Rock was the devil and he baited that? And like, nah, because then you would have to give support. Do you think that it was being done maliciously
Right.
with that intent? And I don't believe that. I don't believe that that was the case. I don't believe that Chris Rock did what he did from a malicious perspective. I believe that it had an effect. Just like the whole conversation about the alopecia thing and everything like that. I'm never going to undermine that. I'm in support of anybody who's out there, battling these kind of situations. I take health situations just as serious as the next person. But what took place that night, and I'm not giving it the green light, the okay. I believe personally that he didn't know.
Right.
Because I believe if he did know that that wouldn't have been a joke because he would have understood the severity and the sensitivity of it.
Right.
So that's why I say, even in the situation of addressing that, there'd be a difference. See, if Will knew that he knew and he did what he did anyway,
Yeah.
that would warrant him acting the way he did. I'm not saying it would make it okay, but it would be understandable because, bro, we had this conversation. You knew.
Right.
But if you don't know, but I never addressed you, my first encounter with you is to slap you.
Absolutely. And then next thing you know, we got snow squalls.
Right. And then
Listen.
now everybody got to pee in the cup.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this? Did you see the Williams sisters' faces?
It was a bunch of faces that they showed. You know what I mean? Bunch of faces that they showed, man. I'm sure you could probably find that that whole thing with with his
What's that?
apology. His apology.
I'll look for it. I'll bring it up at some point. And I believe that that probably was more from the perspective of because they all got publicists, they all got people who write stuff for them. You know,
Yeah.
that handle these media out, these media situations like this. Personally speaking, do I believe that Chris Rock owe an apology for the situation? I'm just passing my own opinion. I do not think he owes an apology. That's just
Right.
me. I'm comfortable with my opinion about it. You know what I mean? If somebody was to ask me why I feel like he doesn't owe an apology, because I still don't believe that he knew about her condition dealing with alopecia. I
Right.
can't confirm it, but I don't believe it. Now, if he done that afterwards and he did know, then it was maliciously being done, and then he does owe an apology. But if he's making a joke about GI Jane, and it's more or less in reference to the haircut or what appears to be a haircut and not a hair condition or
Uh-huh.
the alopecia situation. Then most comedians that I know, they work with what they have. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like I had this debate in the conversation. I had this debate, last night. Me and the wife. I said, babe, when you buy tickets to a comedy show and you go sit in the front row, you you realize you were in the danger zone. It's like going to SeaWorld and you sitting there with Shamu going to hit his tail in the water and you gonna get splashed. They call
Right.
it the splash zone.
Splash on.
So the equivalent of that situation, I'm not saying that it was a green light go and it's okay, but what I'm saying to you is that you're there.
Right.
You're in that situation. It was a joke. They went all the way back to 2016 to try to create a reason why for 6 years, in 2016, we're now in 2022, that all of this was that time period, where he done it before, and this time it was the hot button, and Will responded the way he did.
Right.
But the real elephant in the room, some people do touch on, right? Because
Right.
I believe, and I ain't the only person because I talk to other people who feel the same way, that it's a
Right.
buildup of things.
Yeah, he's
I
building up.
don't
He's
think it was, I
tired.
don't think it was Sunday night's joke.
Nah. That's just the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, yeah. So I just think that he's human. Is he human? Yeah, he's human. And he had a human moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's wrong, in my opinion, but human.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like I said, man, we just know it was handled Monday with the squalls. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
I have to agree with
Yeah, the squalls is what
you. The
handled.
apologies came out shortly after. The apologies came out shortly afterwards, bro.
Shortly after the squalls. You know what I mean?
I think you're right, man. You
You
know?
know?
So, I mean, but like I said, man, they ain't the only people that ever have awkward moments. I done had awkward moments in life. You know what I mean? I mean, we addressed that situation, but I've had awkward moments in life. You
Right.
know,
Right.
I wasn't maybe, at the award show and all that kind of stuff. Whatever the case can be like that. But there's moments where I didn't use my best judgment.
Right.
Um, and I was human in those moments.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those moments I was wrong. Now I'll admit to that.
Right.
Some of those moments I was right. Some of those moments I was right. And then in a lot of those moments, I just, even though I had a strong point, my actions weren't in alignment with the way it should have been responded to. So,
Yeah, you cracked
like I
anybody's
said,
chin
man.
when you did that?
No, I mean, I've been in some physical things. I mean, I think that all of us to some degree have had moments where, our best judgment wasn't at the forefront of our minds.
Mm-hmm. What, did it
You
snow
know,
the next day?
nah. That's why I think you wanted something with the squall.
Right. That was two major stars, man. That was two major stars. It's the squalls, man. They went with the squalls on purpose, bro. I'm trying to tell you that, man. They wanted us to understand that the snow squalls is a savior.
Okay.
It's an antidote.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Go back and think about all wild shit that happened on award shows. Might have snowed the next day. I guarantee you somewhere in the world it snowed. In Alaska, it did. It definitely did the next day. It was snow out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Nah, but you know what though? Like, you understand what I'm saying? E, my thing is man, I seen so many things, bro, on the internet, man. I seen, like people just really like clapping the whole situation up, and I don't even think they understood it.
Right.
Like, bro, I don't think they understood the magnitude of what took place. Like,
Right.
Bro, we got to play by a different set of rules.
We do. We always had to. You know what I
Right.
mean?
You know what I
Talk
mean?
about it.
Like,
Talk about it.
like, yeah, bro. Like, we got to play with a different set of rules, y'all. And, we can't be, acting like that's not the case. Like I was saying, I'm telling you, bro. I didn't have a debate last night with the wife, but like it was a big moment. Like when it
Mm-hmm.
happened Sunday night, I woke her up and I wasn't on like, ooh, word up. Oh man, Will Smith. I was just like, wow, I can't believe, that happened.
Right.
Cause it's just like, cause at that point I had seen bits and pieces of the video. I didn't see the things that transpired before what was said. I seen what happened. He went back to his seat and he yelled out what he yelled out. And what I saw was a man, in my opinion, that looked like he felt embarrassed. He had been feeling embarrassed and
Yeah.
felt like he needed to do something to defend his manhood.
Absolutely.
Because, like, when I made a statement to her, I was saying, though, like, for instance, bro, like you just said, bro, I brought up to you, he laughed at first.
Yeah, I seen it
But
too.
right. And his laughter wasn't so much a laughter of approval. It was just like, okay, I acknowledge he's a comedian. He's doing what comedians do.
Right.
We're in the front row. This is what he has to work with. Comedians have material, and then they have things that they do off the improv or right there, that's unscripted. And I think he worked within the scope of what he thought he had. And then you notice he looks over, he being Will, over at Jada. And then it happens. And so for me, like I said, as a husband, of course you always want to defend and protect, your family, you know what I mean, your wife, your children, however you have it arranged, you know what I mean, whatever's going on, in your relationship. But in the same token, I can say this about me because I'm being transparent.
I'm listening.
Whenever I did something that I felt like later on that was foolish and I shouldn't have done it, I never looked for any kind of approval. Like I never looked over, at my wife and said, "Oh, this bothered you? Well, let me go ahead and do that." If anything, it was the other way around. Most of the time, I felt the way I felt, and it was her saying, "Hey, babe, relax. Don't do that." Like, it was more her talking me the other way. It's not about being proud about it, but I have to speak transparently about it.
Right.
And so when I saw it, that's why I believe in my heart of hearts that when he saw the disappointment or the displeasure in his wife's face, I also felt like that was a moment where he realized other people saw it and the man in him kicked in. But I don't think it was just like I'm just going up here and it was just solely that. I think the hot button had got hit. And I understand he's human, but I think he handled it wrong. That's
Yeah.
just my spill on that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree because again, it's a time and place for everything. I understand he was protecting his wife, and I'm not saying he was wrong for protecting his wife. It's just the way we go about it. It's always easier for us, like I said, for us to think about it. Now, most people who clapped on and said he did the right thing were women. I'm just gonna go there.
Okay.
They were women because what woman doesn't want to feel protected? But ladies, let me make this clear. It doesn't mean if your man said he wouldn't have did exactly what Will did, that he wouldn't protect you. Because with women, a lot of times, shit is cut and dry. So you wouldn't have did nothing. I never said that. But if I walk up and I smack this dude, and I got I'm on probation, and he pressed charges, now I'm going to jail over a joke because I smacked him in his face.
Right.
I'm just keeping it real. I'm not saying that was Will Smith. Like or it cost us $1 million in embarrassment and defamation of character and all this type of shit. You gotta understand. People gotta understand. Like they don't always see things like that to understand where we're actually going with the situation. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I get it. I get it both ways. I literally get it both ways. I don't think Will was wrong. I think I would have addressed it a different way. I wouldn't have never walked up on the stage with a cool ass bop and smacked the man in the face like that.
Right.
Unless I was ready to fight. And
Yeah,
let's just say this. It was a smack. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
right.
Dude, it was a G.I. Jane's joke. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I will. Then Chris Rock was like, man, I can go somewhere. Never mind. And he just kept going. Right?
Yeah,
So at the end of the
yeah,
day, let's just say, if he turned around and said, well, you want to fucking fight, man?
right.
Now, guess what? It would have turned from not that Will Smith smacking Chris Rock and all that. It would have turned to, look out, this is why we don't let them at this show. This is why we don't have them there.
That's exactly
So
what we're gonna have.
we as much as black actors have spoke on wanting to be a part of the Oscars and speak about the Oscars, and Will Packer actually gets the chance to produce it, a black man, the very first time he do it, we gonna fuck it up over a joke because it was insensitive that I believe, like you believe, that Chris Rock didn't know, and he smacked him in the face. Now they fight. Like, I'm just saying, like, because you got people saying Chris Rock was he an asshole for saying a joke he knew. We don't know what the man knew. Okay, we don't know. Then you also got people saying Chris Rock was soft because he ain't swing back. Then you got some people saying Chris Rock held restraint and he did good. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
then you got some people saying, most people that's saying that Will went a little too far was men. You also got men to say, man, you don't talk about a man's wife, or you got people saying, making fun of Will, you got memes, all this type of crazy shit. The thing is, the saddest part about the situation, it was two black, I'm gonna just say they icons in entertainment from their catalogs who had a moment that everybody got to see, and I just wish that we didn't see it. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's real, and that's the part that's at. But I'm gonna tell you, man. One of the definition for the word awkward, man, causing difficulty, hard to do or deal with, right? Causing or feeling embarrassment or inconvenience.
Right.
That's literally the definition of awkward. Number two, causing or feeling embarrassment or inconvenience. I believe that his response was based on what he saw and the feelings that he saw in his wife. And my whole thing with that situation is if you had enough time to rationalize and look over and see her face expression, see she was displeased, and then make that decision, then there was a rational moment inside of your mind that should have clicked in and prevented you from going up there and addressing it in the way that you did.
Right.
That's how I feel about that.
Right. No, you're
You know?
right, bro.
Because then afterwards, he wound up leaving, as we all know, and he went to a party. He went to the party afterwards. So, my thing is how you so mad and pissed off to the point where you got to run up on the stage and then smack somebody, but you still can go out to the party and celebrate the award.
Getting jiggy with it.
Right. Since we're talking about parties, man, and I want to take this time to be able to go ahead and talk about, once again, man, this event planning company that I know. It's a full-service event planning company that's going to take care of all of your event planning needs. I don't care if you got that, big office party coming up. You got that, you get married. Whatever you got going on, man, it's a one-stop shop place. Let them know who it is, bro. Look, check it out. Let's get that stress off your plate, all right? Got that big event coming up, and you don't want to have to do all the work. I got a company for you, full-service event company that's going to take care of all of your event planning needs. That's www.fncevents.com. A full-service event planning company. Take all the stress off your head, kick back, and enjoy the party. Once again, that's www.fncevents.com. Head on over there, get that party booked, and get it done. Back to the show.
Front and center events.
That's it, front and center events, man. So, anyway, man, like I said, I'm quite sure that's been the talk so long, man, by everybody. But like I said, I did want to say about the whole human side of anything. I'm not condemning. I'm not condemning Will for being human.
Not at all.
I'm
am not
saying
condemning
that,
anybody.
right. You know what I mean? But I think it was the wrong C. I want to make sure I'm spelling this right now. It's the wrong CON word. Because I'm not condoning. nor condemning.
Yeah, I'm
But
not.
the CON word that should have been used is control.
Yeah.
Not condoning, not condemning, but the CON word that should have been used is control.
But it's a COC word that actually I believe that might have been able to condone, condemn, and control the situation.
Really?
And that's cocaine. That's what that. That's what that is.
You ever had a moment in I gotta ask you, you ever had a moment when you was sitting somewhere, let's just say you was at obviously not at the awards or anything like that, but you was at a meeting
Right.
and there was somebody up there talking, presentation or whatever, and you envisioned yourself going up there smacking them while they was talking. Have you ever had that?
Yeah. Yeah. I had that vision today. Somebody was showing me something on the computer. I just hit that nigga in the jaw like, bah! You know what I mean? But he my boy, man. I was like, nah, I can't do that. I don't know. I swear to God, I had that vision. They like, I just punched him in the jaw, man. I don't even know why. Like I think
crazy,
sometimes your body just you just want to test your skills, see if you still got it, man. Like, can I crack his shit right now?
You know what I'm saying? Just want to test the skills.
Yeah, test the skill. We're gonna test the skill. Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
nah, man, I asked that because, it's so many things, right? Like, I think we've all had at least one thought in our minds. Well, we've been sitting there and it's been a coworker,
Yeah.
possibly, I'm not gonna say it, bro. I done say, and it's not about ever sitting there thinking about it in church, like you want to run up there and grab the pass or nothing. But I have
Right.
sat in church before and even sat there and been like,
Right.
nah.
Nah, I ain't never want to grab the pastor or nothing like
No,
that.
I ain't want to
man.
grab, but sometimes you be like wanting to almost debate what they saying.
Nah, oh yeah. I've always did that.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
cause everybody's theory is a theory. It's a theory. That's all it is. It's a theory. Okay. Like the only thing that a lot of people realize in life, I got to go to these segments that they believe are facts is numbers. See what I'm saying? That's
Right.
why if people ever sit back and read the Bible, and I can't give you a scripture today from this, but read the book of Numbers. You read the book of Numbers, you'd be like, damn, this all makes sense. Because numbers is real. Because like we said, the only number matters is 3. You know what I mean? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 79. You know what I mean? And even though people for the smart dummies to say, well, 6, that ain't 3, or 9, that ain't 3. Yeah, 6 is 2 3s. 9 is 3 3s. And then if it stops at 9, it starts back at 1. Only 3 matters. Think about it. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I just made that up right there. That just go ahead. Listen, let's go ahead. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you
but-
deserve an Awk-Award for that.
Yeah, Awk-Award. But my point is of that situation. Like, first came the joke, then came the smack, then came the squirrel, the snow squirrel. See what I'm saying? 3. You know what I mean? like that's there it was right there. It was 3P. 3P.
I mean, it happened. I can't
All
argue
right.
against what happened.
The average person has how many names? 3.
Yeah, first, middle, and the last.
When you go to somewhere and order some food, most of the time they got 3 sizes.
Right. And they usually have breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
Blow
Now,
spoon
you right.
lighter. You know what I mean? Like, Nah, I gotta stop. Listen, I'm just joking. I know some people don't think that's funny. Yeah, I mean,
I'm surprised 'cause I know you, man. You'll say something different in a minute. You'll be talking about fiend, pipe, and rock.
yeah, you know what I mean. Like, hey, listen.
Boy, even.
Yeah, listen. No,
Nah, man.
listen. For example, what's the short version for the ABCs? I mean, the alphabet, the ABCs. I said it already.
You just said it, yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
for the
saying.
alphabet. You know your ABCs.
What about the numbers? What about the numbers?
You know, 1, 2, 3. A B C.
Yeah.
Easy as
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Do re mi. Do re mi. A B C.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Baby, you know me.
Yeah.
All
Well,
three.
even when they tell about it, a lot of times they say this. Even when it comes to a story, they say it's his version, my version,
And the truth.
and the truth. So even then, it's still still three. You know what I mean?
Triple
I
threat,
just
man.
yeah, man, yeah. I mean, my whole thing with any of those things, man, is I believe that we're always human in all of those moments. But even then, like you get to a certain point where you're supposed to learn from your experiences. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you do certain things, because I believe people are creatures of habit,
Right.
right? So like, you know how you look up and you say, like for instance, I hate to bring this up as an example, but I just, I'm just using it for an example. A person robs a bank. I'm definitely not condoning that, and I'm not encouraging anybody to even try nothing crazy like that.
Nah. I
What
don't
I am
care
going
how
to
many
say is this,
threes you see. Just sit down.
right? Just
Yeah, that
leave that
ain't
alone.
it. Mm-hmm.
Go shoot a three. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But don't go.
Yeah.
So anyway,
That's how the next shit sound.
exactly. You know what I mean? Damn, you really sound like you shoot jumpers over there. So, all right, man. So anyway, a person does it, and then you
Shoot
look
it!
up and you realize that they get away with it, and guess what they do, bro? They
What's
do it
that?
again.
They do it
They do
again.
it again. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is that, what is it inside of a person's mind that goes, how can I say, goes dormant, goes to sleep, you know what I mean, gets pushed to the side, that instantly after the action takes place, all of a sudden reappears. Like I don't know what that how they say rage. Oh, rage is so much powerful than control. You get to a point of rage and you do something, and instantly after it takes place, all of a sudden you starting to think like, I should have been in better control.
Right.
What is it about immediately after the action where that thing reappears, resurfaces? Like how? Like what is it?
Right. Reality kicks in, man.
Yeah, but you
Reality
know what
kicks
else
in.
it is? It's down to training of the mind, right?
Yes.
Now you talked about threes. And my theory is this. Whatever you want to deal with in life, in most cases, you can use this universally in a lot of different things, whether it's in life, business, or whatever else. It goes conditioning. You can make technique and skill one, and speed. Conditioning, technique and skill, speed. Condition your mind, condition your body. You learn the techniques and you learn the skill. Once you master them, you then become faster. That's the speed. So it's conditioning, technique and skill, speed. Learn to do it right, then you can learn to do it fast. What does that have to do with this? Is the problem comes in that window of us not being able to think about our actions before we actually commit them.
Say that again.
What usually happens is our inability to become conditioned from a mental perspective, right? From a mental perspective, to think about our actions before they take place. That's the only difference. Right? If you knew in advance the repercussions of what, like for instance, if you don't commit, say for instance, you decide that you're not going to commit a crime. It's not that you don't think that you can get away with it. You just understand the ramifications if you don't. Right? So like now, for all the people who are out there, you something wrong with you. For all the people that's out there celebrating what took place at the Oscars on Will's part,
Yeah.
those will be the same people that turn around if he has to get that Oscar back and say they wouldn't have did that to him if he wasn't black. They're gonna be the same people.
Yeah.
They're gonna be the same people that
But
turn
we
around.
really don't know. We're making an assumption because of things in life, and you ain't see no white person walk up and smack nobody in the face over a joke.
And see, that's the point. See how you just use your rational mind? What are we comparing it to?
But I'm gonna tell you
that's
what the
the
world
part.
gonna say.
That's the
Well,
difference.
nothing is worth disrespect of his wife. No, I'm not saying that he should allow the disrespect to his wife. Make that clear. I just would have been like, hold up, babe. I'll be right back. Backstage.
It's a lot of ways. It's a lot
Yeah.
of ways. It's a lot of ways.
Hey, C, let me holler at you, C. Let me holler at you. Let me holler at you, C.
Yeah.
Hope your chin ready, bitch. Like, I would have said something like that, you know what I mean?
You know, I mean, like I said, once again, I'm respecting his human side, but there's a part of him that's just like, he's got to live with the blemish of it now. And if they take that award away, and I'm not suggesting that they do, but if they take it away, it's like, wow, I allowed myself the best. I allowed the situation to get the best of me. It took something away from me that I would have cherished.
That I've been fighting for my whole career. He's never got a Best Actor award. You gotta realize, there's only 4 black men who won Best Actor awards?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Jamie Foxx, and Will Smith.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. It could be somebody else, because I don't really always keep up with the Oscars.
So go with that. Guess what? We know it ain't more than 5.
Yeah. And how many black women who won Best Actor? I think just Halle Berry.
And maybe probably, like I said,
maybe
man,
somebody else. No,
you're not getting away from 10 fingers, bro.
Yeah. Oh no.
And that's why I say what I'm saying. Like,
and I'm not saying
out there,
for the smart dumb people to say, well, he's supposed to sell out for an award. That's not what I'm saying, man. That's not what I'm saying. No. All right, before you sit there and rebuttal with that stupid shit, that's not what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying is, he could have handled it. Yes, I would have addressed it. Somebody would have said something to my wife I ain't like, I would have addressed it. But I'm not walking up on the stage with a cool bop and cracking your chin, because if you disrespect my wife, I kind of want to hit you more than once. And I know I can't do that shit on stage.
Let's keep it a buck. What if Will would have went up there and Chris Rock whooped Will's ass?
Hey. What if he the buddy loved him? Like this, like Dave Chappelle and Buddy Love on Nutty Professor. Dumped him in the crowd. Like, well, what the fuck you doing? Boop, bop.
What happens?
Because if that was Floyd Mayweather doing it,
or anybody, I asked,
or Mike Tyson, G.I. Jane, and Mike, you walking up on Mike?
I don't believe that would have happened. And I'm not
saying Will soft.
But I don't think that would have happened, because guess what? You would have given Mike the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
Well, Mike probably ain't know, man. You know what I mean? Even so, I know sometimes Mike say certain things, he done said it in a different. You would give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, I'm just keeping it real. Like, you just keeping it like this. I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, you know, he would have done that if it was this person, but he wouldn't have. I don't need to create that list. He did what he did to who he did it to. But in the same token, like I said, my question was simple. What if he went up there and that shit went the other way?
Right.
Or then, he tried. He went up there and he tried to defend himself. People was turning around. Oh, he's supposed to really been smacking. Wasn't there? He should have been smacking the young boy August.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So
my point is, if that
arguing about
talking that dumb shit, that come on, man. I get where you're going, but that shit ain't had nothing to do with last
but you
Sunday
can't
night.
say in one breath that the reason why his actions are acceptable is because he was on the spot and he defended his wife with that situation, but you also say that he should have smacked the young boy in that situation. Because now you're talking about a premeditated situation versus something else. Like, even the people that turn around and say, I would have got with him later on, caught him in the bathroom, went up top on him. Now, that's more premeditated. You had time to think about that, understand what's going on. So his actions in terms of what he did, being a quick response type of situation, it's wrong, but you understand it. You see why he did the way he did it. Now, what I'm saying is for those people who cheered it on, some of those same people are saying that if he was mad at somebody, he should have smacked the young boy August.
Yeah.
What are you really saying? Is it that he was defending his wife who has alopecia and said something a joke was said to her that offended her and he did the right thing, the admirable thing, the honorable thing? Or he should have smacked the young boy that was in a entanglement relationship situation with him that admitted to that. What are we
He-
really saying?
Really took because right there wasn't a wife protection with the entanglement because one, she wasn't upset.
Right.
He laughed at the beginning of the joke.
Yeah.
Seen she was upset, then slapped. She never
That's
got
what I'm
upset
saying.
when that peen ween was in her off from the young boy August.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. So now he's supposed to smack. You know, I understand. I understand where y'all going. I get the logic of it. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
It's a difference. You know what I
Right.
mean? He was cool with your son. He was staying in your crib. Young boy. You let him get a pass for whatever reason. And I'm not advocating for the violence either way.
Right.
But when you went up there and you smacked Chris Rock and you spun off like you was Mike Lowry, like like you turned into Mike Lowry off of Bad Boys, to me, I was like, that's why I think it was questionable whether or not it was staged initially. But it was the people that didn't see the response because everybody said the same thing. I know they had to be acting because Chris Rock can go after him. But them the same people, like I said, that's cheering him on. Like you said, it's quite a bit of ladies, and this may ruffle some feathers. But we already knew that even we knew we was going to talk about this tonight. This may ruffle some feathers. But the reality of it is that his actions are what they are, and unfortunately, it's going to come with a price more or less. It already came with one. It's already a blemish on the situation.
Do you have a this or that for me, or would you rather this week?
Got a couple of this or that. Let's take it then.
Welcome to this week's This or That, where we're going to find out what the fuck a snow squabble, or wobble, because all I hear is wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Let's get to the show.
Welcome to another week of This and That, where I ask E a series of questions.
Right?
Eventually, I get an answer. Sometimes it's straightforward, and sometimes it's elaborate. We're going to get right into it.
Let's get to it.
Success or happiness?
Happiness, man. Happiness. Because a lot of times when you're happy, you're successful. Because true success is being happy.
Okay.
We think it's I'm the illest in this and the other. No. Being happy is true success.
Fame or obscurity?
What does obscurity mean again, man? I had a lot of thoughts today.
Okay. Now, all right. Obscurity is the state of being unknown, inconspicuous, or unimportant. So the question once again was fame or obscurity?
I don't like to be unimportant. You gotta be famous to somebody. So yeah, I go with
Remember
fame.
though, it's inconspicuous, right? Unknown or unimportant. Now, you could be important to be inconspicuous. That's a person just not noticing who you are. You know what I mean? Versus,
Yeah, I take fame over that though. I take fame. Over
Okay. All right, that's cool. Overly pessimistic or overly optimistic?
optimistic.
Right. Okay.
Because that's
Smart.
like that's overly thinking positive, but I don't know how you can be overly optimistic. I get it, like to say, bitch, I could jump from,
Right.
I could jump
Right.
clean across
Nah,
to
I was gonna say,
to Delaware from
Yeah.
Trenton to Marsville. Nah, I'm not that. Nah. But
That's
I
what I'm saying.
know.
But you don't want to be
I-
overly pessimistic either, though. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Oh my
I
God!
think
If I
overly
go that
optimistic.
way, soon as I walk that way, it's gonna be a dog over there. I know it is. Like, nah, I'm not.
This question, if depending on how you answer it, it could still kind of lead to the other one anyway. In my opinion, smartest person in the world or richest person in the world?
I'm gonna say smart because if I'm the smartest, I'm gonna be the richest.
Okay, you can figure it out, my man.
Right.
Loved by all or loved by a few?
I could be loved by a few. I know all the people don't love me anyway.
Okay. Eternal life or 100 fulfilling years of life?
I would go honestly eternal life. And some people say, well, why would you do that? Because I'm forever young. That's how I'm feel. I look the
Yeah.
same that I look when I was 25 right now. You know what I mean? Maybe a little
Mm-hmm.
different. But, for the most part, I do. And they say, well, all your friends be gone. I can make new ones, man. I can make new ones. I just let me keep going, Jack.
It's crazy. You ever seen? I believe that's how the Green Mile went off.
Right.
Um, you know, he watched everybody who he loved pretty much and knew, pass away. Um, and like you said, I guess he met new people, but wow, that's a deep question right there.
Mm-hmm.
Save 100 strangers or one loved one. Save 100 strangers or one loved one.
One loved one.
The wisdom of Socrates or the tenacity of Alexander the Great.
Wisdom is the most powerful thing. So
Okay.
Socrates. Because
The
here's the thing,
ability. Okay.
you
Go ahead.
know, in the Bible, King Solomon had the most wisdom. He probably was the richest person in the Bible, other than Jesus. When I mean rich, I don't mean money. I'm talking about like, you know, he was the guy because
Gotcha.
he was wise.
Gotcha.
You remember King
Okay.
Solomon when we was young?
Predictability or excitement.
Excitement.
Okay. Regret or doubt.
Uh, I hate to use it, but I would have to actually go with regret. I don't like to doubt myself with anything because how can you be optimistic, overly optimistic, but you're doubting yourself? That just doesn't tie in. I know this ain't the same question, but we all, as much as we say, I don't have no regrets, we all got some regrets. You know,
Yeah.
damn, I shouldn't have went out that night.
Yeah. You got to learn to live with regrets.
That's it. All you gotta do is be able to live with them. But we have some.
Yeah.
You all have some.
Yeah. Bruh, I mean, that's what I got this week, man. In terms of this or that.
Yeah.
You knocked them out, man. You actually didn't elaborate too much on them. You didn't go too deep, man. I think that they were actually not too off the beaten path or not too awkward, for
Yeah.
lack of
So we're
term.
gonna we're gonna go up out of here. All those. We're gonna go. That was this week's This or That. Did anybody find out what a snow squall was yet? It's goddamn it! It's nearly April. We getting snow. Let's get back to the show. Man, this been a real fun episode, P. Man, you gotta let them know where they can find us at, man. You know what I
Well, you
mean?
can find us each and every week on YouTube on our channel,
Yeah,
and that's the Porch Porch Podcast
right,
on YouTube, and you can
right,
find us or listen to us at any of your favorite podcasting streaming sites.
right.
Um, some of them, and you're gonna have to grab some too, brother. You're gonna have to say some too, because they slip my mind sometimes.
I'm with you.
Forgive me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We got iHeartRadio.
Mm-hmm.
We
Audible,
got Spotify,
Red Circle,
Amazon Music.
Google Podcasts,
You know, Overcast Radio.
Radio Public.
Okay. You already said Audible and the other ones, and I believe you said Red Circle as well,
Yeah, and we have Stitcher.
and Stitcher as well. So, like we say each and every week, man, if you can't watch us, you can always listen on the go.
Amazon Music.
Amazon Music. Amazon Music. Said it. You know what I mean? But I'm glad you said it
Did you
twice.
say iHeart?
Said that one first.
Apple Podcasts.
May have missed that one.
Yeah.
But you guys, man, each and every week, like you said, you can always find us on our pages too on Instagram. He flashes them all the time. I don't know if he flashed them a bunch today, but he flashes them all the time. They're coming up now. You see that right there at Mr. underscore influential. At P Original 1996 on Instagram, at the Porch 30 on Instagram. Hey
Mm-hmm.
man, It's been one heck of an episode, man. Episode number 66, man. Awk-Award, man.
Yep.
Hope y'all enjoyed the show, man. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure y'all tune in each and every week to continue to rock out with your boys. Hey, man, leave comments,
Right.
like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let us know, man. You know, like I said, we talk about all kind of things here on the porch, man. So, hey, man, that's what I got for him this week, E. You know, I don't know if you want to send them on out, but appreciate y'all, man.
Peace.
See y'all next week. Peace.